Hi peeps, it's Tersse on the old squat box once again. And I find it amazing that America, the land of the free, the home of the brave, is basically going down the same road that the Nazis went down in the 1930s. And 40s, when they started experimenting on how to kill people. They first tried, let's just shove them in a room and connect a tailpipe of a car, and let's burn lots of diesel or petrol and fill that room with carbon monoxide and just gas them with that, and then they went down the road of just shooting people in the head and throwing them into trenches and filling the trenches in, and then they eventually came up with the xylem gas that they started using, and I think America's went in the reverse. They went from what they were using, which did kill people, down now to, well, basically they're going to start ending up putting hoses into rooms and just gassing people, because apparently that their injections don't work anymore because they can't get their drugs, because nobody wants to give them the drugs to kill people, because nobody wants to be attached to the idea of killing people. And still these southern states, well, not just the southern states, but these Republican states, you still want to keep killing people. But now you've got to start experimenting, trying what works. And if it works, well, so much the better. But if it doesn't work, let's not tell anybody about what we did. You're no better than the fucking Nazis, you fucks. And I know everybody says as soon as you mention Hitler you've lost your argument, but I'm not saying Hitler did this. This is Americans doing this. This is American governors doing this. Experimenting. Deciding that they are going to sanction the murder of someone with an experimental cocktail of drugs they have got no idea will work or won't work. They don't even let you know what drugs they're using, and therefore when it goes fucking tits up and they stick someone in an ambulance and rush them to a hospital to resuscitate them, how are our medical doctors even able to think of what they're going to have to do to reverse the effects of these drugs when they don't even know what drugs have been used and don't know what doses have been used, even if they tell them what chemical was injected? How the hell can they tell what the consequences are of a failed triple cocktail of drugs injected into it? How the hell can these doctors have any idea what they've got to do to bring that convict round? Doctors have got no fucking idea what the consequences are of a cocktail of drugs that has never been used before to try and kill someone. And then to find that it didn't work, but you've got to try and save them. How do these doctors even start to save that person's life? I think America just needs to turn around and realise that it's time to give up murdering people. Let's face it, it is murder. It's state-sanctioned murder. And I think we fought a war against a state that was doing that and declared them as inhumane mongrel animals for doing that. And now America still has 32 states that still think it's okay to murder people. But of course America's number one. Yeah. America's number one in freedom. It's number one in the ability to expose the world to democracy. America's number one in being the best place to live in the world. Unless they're going to kill you, in which case it's the worst place to die. Even the Chinese don't go through that shit. They shoot you in the head and charge your family for the bullet. I think that's even more humane than the shit that just went down in America. But that's just me. That's just my attitude to it. But yeah, of course, I'm sure Americans think that you're number one at everything. You're number one at living. You're number one at democracy. You're number one at freedom. Well, you're also number one at murder. Except when you can't even murder somebody properly. Hanging, guillotine, yeah, we invented them in Europe. But America, yeah, you seem to think it's fine just to inject any old shit into someone and just hope they die quickly. It's a bit like the Republicans' idea of fucking healthcare. If you get sick, die. If you're really sick, die quickly. You know, and that's your attitude to fucking, state-sanctioned murder as well. Is we inject you with this shit, please just die quickly and don't buck and roll too much. Don't complain, don't scream, don't shout, just die. And when you don't, oh well, fucking suddenly it's all sort of like, oh, we'll rush up to the hospital, but don't tell the doctors what jobs we used, because that would probably help him to save his life, even though you have a constitutional imperative not to cause suffering. I do believe that today we understand what Republicans think suffering means. And it's not pain, it's not agonising pain. Suffering is when people mention your name in the press in a bad light. Well, I'm sorry, Republicans. I'm sorry, you fucktards. I'm sorry, you American fucking idiot Republican fucktards. The whole world now thinks that you are no better than the terrorists who attacked you on 9/11. You could have been like Britain. You could have. You do mention Churchill now and then in your speeches to American people and how forthright he was and how forthright the British people were, the staunch British people who stood against Hitler and stood against the Nazis, and now look at you. Now look at you. A sad shadow of the people who supported Britain and Europe against the Nazis in the Second World War. Now more and more the world looks at you and thinks, yeah, perhaps you were infected with Nazism and took it back home with you after the Second World War, and now it's infected your whole country. I often think that America has been infected with Nazism. I often think Republicans, Conservatives and Christian fundamentalists are basically all just Nazis under another name. You might as well just wear a swastika badge on your lapel, motherfuckers. People wonder why the rest of the world hates America. This is an exact example why we think you should be hated. It's not every American, parts of America have become so poisoned, so putrid. The world can't do anything else but hate you for what you do, what you say, how you think. You need to change. You need to bring yourself from the 14th century to the 21st century, and you seem to be having a real problem, struggling really hard to do that. The world is watching, America. The world is watching. You need to get your fucking shit packed up. You need to get your shit packed up and stowed away. This is the 21st century, not 1474, you know what I mean? You no longer live in an age when we will observe and let you get away with this fucking shit. It's not 1940 fucking 3 Germany. It's the 21st fucking century. Sort your fucking shit out. Son, you fucking fat motherfuckers. Like I say, when you can't even kill somebody, right? You're basically giving up on doing any fucking shit, right? I mean, a bullet in the head, like the Chinese do, that works. Fucked up 3 injections of a chemical, it doesn't work. I think you've pretty much fucked everything up, man. I think you've pretty much said to yourself and to the rest of America and the world that I can't even kill somebody. You know what I mean? Right. You know what I mean? If you can't even do that, you've fucked up. Cheers. Swanch.